This is Sheepskin Hollow, an ancient Native American camp once roamed by the Mingos and the Delaware tribes. Legend has it, the spirits of these Native Americans still wander these lands today. Here we are in Sheepskin Hollow, part of the great outdoors of Ohio, and this place is quite mysterious and beautiful at the same time. I'll give you a quick backstory. The legend has it that the tribes that lived here from the Native Americans in the 1700s, 1600s, some were Mingos. This was a sacred area for them. So when the white people came and took over it, they put a curse on it, so that if anybody was to ever destroy or hurt or harm this beautiful sacred place to them, some sort of backlash would happen to them. It's a legend, and pretty much how the story goes is around 1933, modernism was happening, obviously, and they created this railroad track, and the railroad was only ever used once, because the one time it was used, the train was coming through this area and it crashed and everyone died. And after that, they never used it again. It was derailed, and since then there's been stories, mainly traveled by word of mouth. There's not very much around on the internet or anything. We actually learned about this place from a old pioneer down South Ohio, but yeah, there's just stories of people coming, and the legend has it that there are spirits here that protect it, and if you are nice to the area and the nature, then the spirits will be nice to you. But if you were to harm it in any way, then you would get harmed yourself. Like, there's stories of people coming in here and building fires and leaving trash and then dying in a car crash the next week. It's pretty crazy and scary, and being out here at night really makes me not want to do anything bad. So yeah, but it's pretty nice anyway, so highly recommend coming out here.
We're gonna investigate.
This path you see here was built in the early 1930s, a railway that follows the North Fork Little Beaver Creek, until it eventually connects to the Ohio River. This railway, built on these grounds, was only in commission for 1 year, because in 1933, a train derailed, killing all passengers aboard. It was a tragic incident, and the railway was soon closed, not only a year later. After this happened, the state turned it into a nature preserve, and is now called Sheepskin Hollow. This is Mr. Evan Crawford. We are interviewing him about Sheepskin Hollow. He is a local history enthusiast and woodsman. So, Mr. Evan Crawford, could you tell us about how you found out about this place and why you went to explore it?
Yeah, I was actually camping in Southern Ohio with my buddy John, and we met this guy, this wild guy. His name was Willow Sky. This guy's big white flowing beard. He looks like Father Time, but still like getting after it. But he was telling me a story about. Well, I told him where I was from, and he's like, "Have you been to this place, Sheepskin Hollow? That's not far from there." I was like, "Never heard of it. What's up?" I was like, "Yeah, it's this like supposed to be this like sacred Native American place, and it's really beautiful, but there's also supposedly like spirits watching over it, and if you don't respect it when you're there, like bad stuff happens to you." And he told me a story about like a railroad crash or something, and then like some kids were camping out there one time and messed stuff up, and they all died in a car wreck or weird stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, I'm in. I got nothing else to do. I'm up for little adventures like that. So I went and checked it out myself, and it's hard to find. And if you look it up, it gives different directions how to get there, because it is a state park or whatever. So there's a state park place, but you don't want to go there. I went there the first time I went there, and I got lost as heck and kind of turned around. I was a little freaked out, which is kind of, again, is where, I don't know if I was just freaked out because it was like getting dark and I was lost, but you definitely feel like stuff is watching you, or just you're nervous And I thought I saw, you know, you start panicking, you think you see things. I could have swore I saw like a dude poking his head out from behind the tree one.
So you could you tell us about that experience when you were there?
Well, then I actually went back again. Like that time, I ended up leaving. The weather was turning bad, and I had my young son with me. So we're like, all right, we're not finding it today, and we just try to get back and get out of there. So then I went back again earlier on in the day, and it was a really pretty day. It was actually pretty cool. But again, there was a part when I was leaving where again you got that feeling like something's watching you, and it wasn't even like in a creepy way. It was just like there was a presence there. You weren't alone. And again, I swear, I friggin' saw this dude up in these caves, that there's these caves on the side. And it's a wild place, you know. I think as long as you respect it, it'll respect you, but I definitely wouldn't go back there and do anything stupid.
All right. Well, thank you for telling us about it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, bro.
The earliest inhabitants of the region included in Columbiana County were the prehistoric tribes known as mound builders. However, owing to the rugged topographical nature of the country and the lack of important streams and valleys, there are few earthworks in this region. The most unusual existing records of these aborigines are the 2 petroglyphs, which were cut into the rocks bordering the Ohio River near the present town of Wellsville. These consist of crude figures of men, animals, serpents, and similar objects. 2 mounds on village sites, 3 burials, and 1 cemetery also show that these tribes once inhabited the region. The principal historic Indian tribes in Columbiana were the Wyandots, the Mingos, and the Delaware.
Here in the depths of the forest of Sheepskin Hollow.
Yeah, this place is
A little bit creepy.
gauche.
Can you see anything on that video?
Kind of. You can see the ground and like some of the trees if we pass them close, but like it's gonna be very tough to see anything.
Yeah, I think a ghost happened to hop on this.
But yeah, John and I are camping out here, and it's gonna be.
Yeah, the whole backstory kind of creeps me out, you know, the spirits and all.
Yeah, we're gonna turn around and go back to our camp because I'm not liking the vibe I'm getting at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's really tough to see because it's super dark and there's not a lot around except for a bunch of trees.
Yeah, and you best believe there's no people for a couple miles in each direction.
Yeah. So if anybody finds this phone, then I'm dead.
My name's John Fink. This is Nick Bledsoe. Tell our moms we love them.
But we aren't going to do anything to harm the land. We're going to keep it very clean and sanitary. And
Leave no trace.
leave no trace that we were even here. Nobody's even going to know that we were here.